This is a little review of the ZOOMBOX temperature logger. I received this thing a few days ago, and I've messed with it a little bit. Haven't gotten too far with some of my studies of my refrigeration system, the little modular cooling unit I got going on here. Anyway, this is a ZOOMBOX right here. It's a pretty simple setup. This one has the capacity to monitor 8 thermocouples. It can also monitor a number of thermistors. There's some digital input outputs, some digital temperature sensors. I'm only concerned about the thermocouples right now. USB connected. It didn't come with a USB connector or cable, excuse me. I happen to have one. It's not a big deal, but you know, for the amount of money I spent on it, I think you'd throw a cable in the stupid thing. Even a couple of thermocouples would have been kind of neat too. You know, even just 1 or 2. You know, just so a person can get out of the box and play with it right away if they don't already have a couple of those. So I'm doing this video because there's not a lot of information out there on the unit. I'm pretty happy with it. I gotta say, if anybody's from the company watches this video, I'm pleased with it overall. The software is a little lacking, I feel, but everything seems to be stable and it seems to be working quite well. I'm very, very pleased. Construction of the box seems fine. There's a label on the bottom that describes different inputs and outputs that it has. There's some nice rubber feet on it. You know, little light shows you that it is connected and powered. So this is a software. It's available on the website. It's free. You can't do a whole lot with it without the ZOOMBOX though, but you can take a peek at it if you're interested. You need like Windows XP something or other newer. I don't understand why it has to be XP. Why can't you run this thing on an old 2000 machine? Linux support would be really nice. I tried it with Wine with no success, so I'll mess with it a little bit more. I'm gonna set up a special machine that'll probably just run Windows just to run this software unless I find other software. So right away I want to describe a few things here. Obviously there's some information, some graphing going on right there. It's running right now. When you start the thing up, you gotta press the connect down here in the bottom corner. Right now it says stop. Once you connect, there's all these possible connections, sensors that you can have. The ones that are available will come up in bold, and then you can checkbox them if you want to use them. And then click start, and it'll start to, excuse me, let me shut this off, that's a little noisy. Then it will start to graph. It will start off with a certain sample rate and a certain time view. First of all, about the sample rate, no complaints there. It goes down to like 10 milliseconds and then up to like 60 seconds. It also has an option that says AFAP. I assume that's as fast as possible. I don't really need that, but you know, whatever, that's nifty. After that, you have the time view. The time view just shows the selection determines the x-axis there, and the amount of information that you have available in front of you. My complaint there is that although you can change it from I think what 50 or 100 up to like 2500, that's just samples. That's not necessarily seconds unless you decide to have a 1 second sample rate. So you know, right now we're at 2500 at 2 seconds, so that's like about 5,000 seconds across there. Well, you know, we have these vertical lines here. There's 4 of them denoting, you know, these 4 columns there of time, and they're just divided up into you know, the number of seconds. You know, and it would be really nice if you could, the user could select and determine, you know, say I want to put 600 in there and a 1 second sample rate. That way this would be 10 minutes. You know, is that a minor thing? I suppose, but I kind of think it would be nice to be able to know, you know, to be able to look and see, you know, yeah. Anyway, next complaint, it lists all the temperatures over here on the right side, or all the sensors that you have. You can't name them. They just TC1, TC2, TC3, you know, I mean, at least they're labeled, but it would be kind of nice if you could just label them to make it a little bit easier on you. The colors are automatically selected. You can't change the colors. You can't, you know, switch them around. Could be useful to, you know, because some particular shade of a color might be psychologically useful or psychologically appealing to associate with a particular temperature or particular use. Kind of a minor thing again, but you I think it would make a big difference. A little glitchy whenever you scroll the bar here. Once you get so much information, there's the side scroll bar. Might just be the laptop I'm running on. I don't know. Maybe it's the number of samples that I have, but it seems like the whole time it's you drag it back and it takes a couple of seconds until it reloads that information. So maybe it's just the amount of data it's displaying. I don't know, but it would be kind of nice if it didn't do that. Something else, it auto scales on the vertical, which is fine. I mean, auto scaling is reasonable, so it's going to show you the lowest value of any sensor and the highest value of any sensor, depending on what you have selected. That's fine. It would be nice if I could actually select the y-axis. So say some certain piece of information or certain line or data points might not be on the screen. That's my choice. Because I might want to be able to zoom in and look at something in particular. A little more advanced feature might be, and I'm not expecting this, but it would be nice if you could actually select a window. I could zoom in; it would just load up another window and another display on top of this that you could then X out of. Might give you some of the same features you have there. Wouldn't be live; it would just be a selection of the data already, and then you could look at it in a little bit more detail. Let's see what else. The y-axis here, it only gives you the lowest value and the highest value and nothing in between. The thing that I would really like to see with software like this, and let me point out, this is a really nice piece of hardware. I recommend this thing. Whoever put this thing together, I think it's a fine package. I just think that it's capable of a lot more. I want to do some empirical study of this machine that I have here, and although I can save the data and I can do all my analysis later on a spreadsheet, it's really nice to be able to look at this stuff more or less live and see the relationships that you have. Because although I have the current temperature information, it would be nice to know what these other values were. And I can look at them relative to the other, the other values and kind of guess. But it would be really nice to be able to look where the peaks are and where the lowest points are. So what I'm getting at here is if I could drag the cursor across the screen, the very simplest thing would be a little box down here in the corner that would tell me what the X and Y position of the cursor are. So I could just hover it over near some particular interesting point on the line, and it would simply output the time and the Y value, in this case Fahrenheit, degrees Fahrenheit, associated with that. Wouldn't be very exact. It's not going to give me exactly what that point is, but it's up to me to decide. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that, and it would just output it. A little more advanced feature might be hovering it over a line and then it going to the closest data point to the cursor, and then outputting that value over here, or a little box or something that would pop up. Maybe if a lot of lines are close by, maybe you could select with spacebar or a button, and it would pop between all the lines and then go back to the top one and down, or something like that. Even better than that, what I would love to see is a vertical cursor, such that you could drag the mouse across the face of the graph there, and as you do, there would be a vertical line that would be associated with that. Anywhere you want to point. So say I want to point at that point right there. Well, there's going to be a line that's going to be drawn right there, and then over here on the right side might be a chart just like this, a little key. But instead, that one would say the time at the top where the cursor is located on the x-axis, and then all of the y values for all the different sensors at that point. As you drag it back and forth, it would display all the information associated with that particular time. Would be very useful. So I don't know if anybody out there has made any other versions of this software or has developed anything else. I'd be curious to know if the company, if other software is adaptable to this. So a friend of mine that's good at this kind of stuff, and he would have many of these criticisms and more. But nonetheless, I do want to stress the point that it's stable software, seems to work fine, hasn't crashed on me. For what it does, it seems to do it really well. I just would love to see a few more features that would make something like this a lot more powerful. It's very cost competitive, I think, compared to other systems out there that do the same thing as far as, you know, temperature data collection. I can collect a lot of information very easily and export it to a CSV. So, you know, whoever put this together, you know, good job. If anybody's interested in talking to me, you can contact me through my email or my blog. I would be thrilled to give a little bit of feedback, a little more than what, you know, I've observed here just in the last 2 days. But to anybody else that's interested in data collection, this is an 8 thermocouple. You can get like a 6 and a 5 or a 4 and a couple of other, you know, a little bit cheaper versions of it. But I assume they have all the same features, just limited number of sensors. You know, go to their website, go check out eBay. I'm not, you know, endorsing them. I'm just kind of going over this thing a little bit, and you'll be seeing a lot more of this stuff on my channel, more associated with the data itself. You know, so thanks for watching.